Hello, hello, hello. Today we are talking with Mackenzie. Mackenzie, I want to welcome you to the show and also to ask you to introduce yourself a little bit after I talk about what we're doing today. We are going to talk about Hacktoberfest. If you haven't heard of Hacktoberfest, it is a project during the entire month of October for contributing to open source, specifically on GitHub. It's done by Digital Ocean. It's absolutely fabulous because they bribe people to contribute to open source projects on GitHub, which I am highly bribable. Happy to get stuff.
We love our swag. As developers.
Absolutely.
It's one thing that we're very easily influenced by.
Absolutely. Mackenzie, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us where you're coming from as well.
So I'm Mackenzie. Right now I'm in quarantine in New Zealand. So I'm stuck in a hotel room for 2 weeks. Usually I live in France, but I'm from New Zealand. So I have to come back here to renew my visa every now and again and make sure France still wants me in their country. Oh. But I'm the developer advocate at a company called GitGuardian. And essentially what we specialize in is scanning private but also open source repositories on GitHub for leaked credentials like API keys or security certificates. And so these certificates, we've all done it. I've done it. I've been guilty of it too, accidentally pushing in something that might be a temporary API key hard-coded in source code, uploading it into Git by accident, and having that oh crap moment. So we specialize and alert people for that. So we do that all for free for any open source organizations and free for any developers out there.
Really? How do I get started? Because I'm quite sure that my repos have secrets everywhere.
So it's super simple. You can head over to gitguardian.com, or if you would just want to jump straight in, you can go to dashboard.gitguardian.com. And from there, you can install a little GitHub application into your repositories, and then that will automatically scan. It scans in real time, so it will when you first start, you can do a historical scan, go through your entire history, and then it'll automatically scan every commit you make from there forward. But we also have cool things for developers, like we have an API that is really simple to use, and I have some videos on that. So you can build in secret scanning into your CI/CD pipelines. You can build it into an app, and all of that's totally free for developers. So gitguardian.com, and you'll be able to find your way through there.
That is brilliant. So my name is Rain Leander. I am a developer advocate with Packet. October is going to be a lot of fun. We are planning basically weekly parties every week. And Hacktoberfest will definitely help you. We will help you get the swag, basically, if you come celebrate with us. Basically every week we're going to be doing something new. So keep an eye on, you know what, we should put in our banner each of our Twitter accounts, as well as I will get you mine.
Yes.
And then yours, definitely. What's the best place for people to reach you, Mackenzie?
So all social medias is my name. My handle is Advocate Mac. So on Twitter, on LinkedIn, if you want, and that's probably one of the best places to reach me.
Cool.
Yeah, reach out, message me.
And I'm
Twitch. Oh, I have a new Twitch stream too. Yeah, I should mention this. Advocate Mac on Twitch.
Advocate Mac on Twitch.
Yeah. You could. It's very new, as in this week new. So.
Followed. Let me see. Oh, not here yet. It's that new. Okay. Well, I'm Rain Leander almost everywhere except for Instagram, where there is a Rain Leander, and I'm not pleased. So I'm K Rain Leander over there. But yeah, let's get started. So you are our student today, and
Awesome.
one of the things I want you to do is go ahead and share your screen and go to hacktoberfest.digitalocean.com. Hello, Hacktoberfest. God, I love the theme colors this year. It's purple and pink and gray. Et voila. Okay. So effectively, yes, you could contribute to GitHub all during October, but if you don't sign up here first, DigitalOcean can't see what you've done. So click on Start Hacking.
All right, big button.
Mm-hmm. And then sign up. And that's it. That is how fast it is. You are now signed up for Hacktoberfest. Ah.
There we go. Cool.
Yeah. Then you want to sign up as a participant. You can put your country because it's good for their metrics. It's up to you if you want to be sent the stuff. The rules and values actually has a code of conduct in there and whatnot. But that's entirely up to you. Let's start hacking. Oh, preferred email address up at the top.
Cool.
I'm still waking up, so I'm still drinking my tea.
Yeah, we are definitely at opposite spectrums of the time scale at the moment.
Oh, yeah, I'm in the Netherlands. You are in New Zealand. But soon you will rejoin us in the Central European time zone.
Yes.
We should stream together when you're here. That makes perfect sense, too.
Yeah, totally. I look forward to it. I'm in the Netherlands a lot too, so yeah, you can even once the pandemic's over, then you can even do a real life in person stream.
There's even a speed train, a bullet train, not a bullet train, but there's a fast train from Amsterdam to Paris that's incredibly reasonable. And then also in between us, there's FOSDEM but it'll be virtual this year. Oh, wow. Okay. So for the next link. So part of Hacktoberfest can be very intimidating if you have never contributed on GitHub before. And that's one of the things that I want to open up is that right now, my team, the DevRel team over at Packet, is working on a very specific project called Uniform Standards. And if you'll put that link up as the banner, it's Packet host/standards on GitHub. And then go ahead and open that link.
Let's see if I have it there. Burn that coffee. Every sip of coffee is one more step closer to awakeness.
Good morning. Okay. This project is something that Packet started last quarter, 3 months ago, because I can't believe it's the 30th of September already. The official last day of Q3 is today. Yeah. So we started this, we realized, we've realized this for a while, but we decided to make it a priority this quarter. We realized that we had Packet Host and Packet Labs, and actually also Tinkerbell, which is another project within the Packet wheelhouse. And these repositories are all public. A lot of them are open source. Some of them are not open source, are meant to be internal tools, but were public. are public, because I'm sure I haven't. I am guarantee I have not finished this project. I'm only halfway through. And we decided, there should be a certain level of standardization between our repositories that are public and still experimental, unsupported, please don't use it in production, and public, fully supported, feel free to use in production. And then that we should private the ones that are meant to be private. And so to that end, this is what the Uniform Standards project was born. And one of the things I wanted to do is document the project, which if you'll scroll down, you can read a little bit more about the Uniform Standards project, and this repository is an example of a maintained repository. So it's got the maintained badge, it's got the labels, it's got the documentation, the getting started guide, the code of conduct, the contributors guide, the license, the owner's file. Bunch of stuff is in here that shows definitively this is what a maintained repository looks like. And that Twitter link is just not coming through, is it? But anyway, so the idea is that I ran through and applied experimental and maintained standards to about 50 repositories over the past 3 months. It was actually over the past 6 weeks or so. The thing is, we still have another 50 plus repositories to apply these standards to. And I thought, this is a way to participate in Hacktoberfest and get contributions to GitHub. And it's very beginner friendly in the sense that, for example, I've picked out a repository. It's github.com/packet-labs/helm-charts. And we will put this at the bottom of the screen. Go ahead and open that tab up. This repository is going to be an experimental repository. And if you look at packet host standards, you can see that an experimental repository requires things like a README, a license, some sort of testing framework, so a CI/CD, and couple other things that I can't think of off the top of my head. But specifically, I saw this and I was like, you know what? This is a perfect demo of how to add an open source license. Now,
okay, cool.
You're going to love this. You're already signed in.
I'm excited already.
You can tell that you're logged in because in the upper right-hand corner, we can see Mackenzie's icon. So we don't need to log in. But make sure that you log in so that you get credit. And also make sure you do this between October 1st and October 31st.
So hang on, we're doing one day too soon. I'm not going to get any credit for this.
You're not going to get any credit for this. Sorry. I know. But you're doing a great service to Hacktoberfest and open source by creating this video. And I'm going to set this up so that I can show people how to find our repositories that we need things done to. Okay,
perfect.
Yes. You're going to love this. If you've come across a repository that needs a license, and you can tell it doesn't have a license because you don't see a file that says license. But you can also look for it by clicking on, go to File. and then literally type in license, and it will give you all of the files that have license in them. So if you click on go to file, type in license, you can see it doesn't have a license anywhere. So you can go back by clicking on code in the upper left-hand corner, and then add file. Now, I love this about GitHub. Create new file. Exactly. And then type in license in all caps. And press enter. Oh, it's going to, yeah, there it goes. No, wait, go back.
What happened?
Didn't it let you?
All right, let's go back one. Okay.
If you press enter, it didn't pop up with the automatic.
One recent push.
Yeah.
That's a minute ago. Okay, should we try this again? Are you an admin? Can you decline that?
I am an admin here. I will go to... Oh, you know what? Yeah. Now add. It should be. So let me share my screen. Chrome tab, Helm charts. Okay. So
all right, you're at the helm.
Okay. So normally, if I type in license, it automatically gives me choose a license template up in the upper right-hand corner. And I wonder if it's not doing that because you don't have admin rights within the org. Because then you just click on choose, you choose Apache, review, submit, super fast, super easy. You then create a new branch, commit new file.
But if you're not an admin of the repository, so if you're wanting to do this as a contributor, that option doesn't come up.
Exactly. That's a little.
Come on, GitHub.
Back. Yeah.
It's October. It's Hacktoberfest.
Hacktoberfest. This should be easy. So when you type in license, it doesn't pop up the button or anything, right?
Let's bring back my screen. And so when I type in license, this is what I get.
And that's it. It doesn't. It's that's no bueno. That's no good. So then it forks to your own system so that you can file a pull request, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
GitHub.
And let me just go back to my GitHub and let's see what's happening on the Helm charts if I click on that fork. I wonder.
Did it create it?
Yeah. I have a fork on my file.
Show me.
There we are. Okay, so this is what we need to do. We just need to, let's put my screen back up. So when we go back to, so this here, this is my fork. So when we go into down here, I can see Helm charts, add file, create new file, and then magically, woohoo! Winner.
Okay, so then
good.
Step 1 is to fork the repo.
Fork the repo.
Add.
Yeah, there we are.
All right. Go ahead and
I forgive you, GitHub. I feel bad for talking shit about GitHub now.
Yes.
They had it sorted all along.
I tend to choose the Apache license. Do you have a preferred open source license that you use?
Well, let's see, how deep do we want to go here? At a very high level, what is the difference between all of these, and where, as a developer, can I get information about what license I should use, and should I use the same license for each one? Time starts now. Go.
Right. Great question. Thank you for that wonderful question.
You should be a politician.
So I want to point out one license that I'm most familiar with, and that's the Creative Commons license. Tends to use the Creative Commons if it's less about code and more about documentation and blogging words. So there's that. The rest of the licenses I'm not as familiar with. I just know that I am most familiar with the Apache license and the ins and outs of the license. If you click on it, it gives you a high-level summary over on the top of the right side. And you can actually click down through the licenses to see kind of the high-level summary of each license before you choose one.
This is the summary at the top. Is this what you're talking about?
Yep, exactly. Cool. And the permissions, limitations, conditions. That up there at the top is the high-level summary. You can click on the left side down through, and it'll give you the high-level summary. You'll notice that down below, so you just clicked on the GNU public license, but then that's the 3.0 version. There's a 2.0 version down below. Because people do prefer older versions. Sometimes they don't like the new wording, et cetera, et cetera.
And is this something that we need to be worried about, particularly if we're contributing to another repository? Is it something that we should maybe consider different licenses, or is it just about knowing a couple of licenses, one or two well, and being comfortable with them?
Both. I think that if you're contributing to a project that you don't know at all, ideally that project has a form of asynchronous communication, like IRC or Slack or something that you can go on and be like, hey, do you all have a preference for a license? You can also literally just look through an org to their different repositories and see if you can find a license on another repository and feel pretty sure that they're going to use the same license on this one.
That's a super cool trick, looking through their other repositories and seeing what they're comfortable with. Definitely.
Yeah. If you can find, say you're working on a repository that the language is Go, and it's public, see if you can find another repository that's focused on Go and then with a license, and then put that same license. It's always important. Communication is first, but if you can't figure out how to communicate, you are communicating by using a pull request. You're not directly submitting this. You are effectively, through this pull request, saying, hey, I noticed you didn't have a license. Here's one. Does that work? And someone that's a maintainer on the repository is then going to look at your pull request and go, oh, yeah, that is the license we use. Or, oh, no, that's not the license we use. We use this one instead. But thank you for starting this dialogue. And to me, that's the most important is you're basically pointing out you don't have a license. Is this the right one?
Cool. Because there's one fear that I think a lot of people have. I know that I have this too, is that when you want to communicate, there's this fear of that, your pull request will get harshly rejected and all that. But But in your experience, is that how the open source community kind of works? You know,
it's
should people be scared?
It yes and no. Because that's the thing. It's like getting to know a stranger. You on the street or in a meetup, you don't know how a person's going to react. They might not be a people person. They might not be able to react well. They might have had a bad day or have an upset stomach. You know, for whatever reason, people might be harsh. But just as likely, and actually more likely, especially in October when everyone's like, yes, come play with us, people are going to be less harsh and more welcoming. Now, a lot of open source communities are shifting away from the kind of old school Linux beard exclusive club and shifting more towards diversity and inclusion and please come help and play with us kind of mindset. And especially in 2020, I will say right here, right now, Packet Host would love for you to come play with us. And I'll bet Git Guardian is the same.
Yeah, we have open source repositories on Git Guardian, and we are always just so stoked when people contribute, even if we don't add it into the main source code. It's really cool and rewarding to see people contributing and pulling into your code.
Exactly. So I can't speak for all open source everywhere in the world as much as I would like to. But I can speak to Django Girls would love for you to come play. OpenStack would love for you to come play. Fedora, pretty much all of Packet Host, Packet Labs, Tinkerbell, Git Guardian, and any number of the other, like I've actually played with a lot of open source and there's a lot of fun and a lot of welcoming. So yeah, it's scary. I get it. But it's also scary to like say hello to someone you don't know. And it's still important that we do that. Now, I will say, and this is me getting on my soapbox a little bit. If a repository or an org has a COC, a code of conduct, I feel a little bit safer contributing and speaking up and whatnot. And if there's a moderator on the forum, I feel more comfortable, playing and whatnot. Because I know that the community has a seatbelt for its car as opposed to no seatbelt. I know if something goes wrong, there's a safety latch. Yeah. So I totally get it. If I'm sure you would offer the same thing, Mackenzie. Basically, if you feel uncomfortable or worried or scared, please reach out and we're happy to help. Cool. Yeah. So pick the Apache.
I don't want to. Let's go to MIT now. No, review and submit.
Yep. And then this is where the entire license is written out. If you want to read it, you're welcome to. Actually, I do have another resource. I think it's open source licenses. Yeah, open source or choose a license. That's it. Choose a license. If you go to choosealicense.com, it helps you choose an open source license. And it's got you click on each, it's pretty awesome in my opinion. I want more choices.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're wondering what license to use, this looks like an awesome resource to go and have it.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay, so we have our new license now.
Mm-hmm. And you currently are on your personal GitHub repository, so you don't need to, but it's good practice to scroll down to the bottom and create a new branch for this commit and start a pull request, as opposed to committing directly to the master branch. Let's see if GitHub is smart enough to automatically start the pull request with Packet Labs.
Okay.
/ Helm charts. Yeah. Let's see what happens. Okay. And then create
Open a pull request.
Well, this is going.
And should I create license? Should I write? And this is where you could communicate and write something in here, I guess.
Exactly. You could say, "Hey, I'm new to your project, but this is actually creating a pull request on Mackenzie / Helm charts."
Right.
You're going, and you don't necessarily need to add that documentation in on your personal GitHub repo. So I would just go through the create pull requests so that you're comfortable with doing this. It also counts towards your green dots. And then scroll down merge pull requests, because you are an owner on your own repo. Confirm merge. Yep. And now this is where it gets fun. If you want to delete that branch, you can, but you don't have to. Go up to.
So let's stop there for a minute. So we've created a branch, and because we've now merged it, into the master branch,
into
the main
your
branch,
personal main branch. Yes.
Main branch. Yeah. And then so we can now just delete the branch that we did. So that's why we don't need to move it into the main branch at first, but
correct.
It's always good just to get into the habit of these. So that's why. Okay, yes, cool. Exactly. I'm with you.
Exactly.
I'm with you.
Now, click on Packet Labs Helm charts. And this is where we're going to create a pull request. Exactly. Oh, GitHub smart. Yay. Thank you, GitHub. Compare and pull request. And this is where you would put in a message to the maintainers. Hey, I'm new. Right. I noticed this didn't have a license. Here's a license. If it's not the right one, let me know. And I'm happy to help. Something where you're like, I'm guessing on this one. Or if you did go in and look at another repository and notice that it also had Apache, you could put that here. And by the way, you can also be like, I'm working with Rain Leander, and she said to add Apache. And,
yeah.
You have an insider. Rain told me so.
Create pull request.
Yeah. Now, it should, because scroll down just a little bit. I've got banner in my way for that. Yeah. It wants the CI. So when I said a repository needs testing, this repository has testing. I'm so happy to see that. It means less work for me. Once that check has gone through, then you're going to, and I think your job is done because you're not an owner or a maintainer on this repo. But I am, so I'm going to finish it. I'm going to go over here and delete.
I should flick over to yours. Should I flick over to your screen?
Yeah, go for it.
Cool.
So this is what it looks like from a maintainer. This is the license that when we were playing before I came through. I am going to actually close this pull request. A duplicate of 17. Which, you know, you would normally not do this for a higher one, but we're more interested in giving you the credit than me the credit. I've got tons of credit.
I need some street cred on my GitHub account at the moment.
We're happy to help you with that. So we're basically just waiting for this build, and I know it passed with mine, so it's going to pass with yours. If you ever want to see what kind of checks are happening, what do you mean unauthorized? Oh, because I actually would have to log into Drone. Okay. See? Sometimes you can click on details and actually see the process as the build is running through, which I think is pretty awesome.
What are some of the typical checks that they could run on a GitHub when we do a pull request? What in the pipeline?
So it can be, at the bare minimum, it can be a simple hello world script that just makes sure that that script is able to run every time an update is applied. That's if you're doing the bare minimum. Ideally, the entire repository is being packaged and run. So if it's a Kubernetes project, it's being packaged up into a container and actually seeing if it publishes. It's basically, it depends on the language of the repository, the purpose of the project as to what it's testing, but it's basically making sure that if it's a language based where it needs compilation, that it actually compiles. If it's project based, it's making sure it actually runs.
Cool.
So it depends on, with Drone is a specific testing facility. So I don't actually know what it's testing, but it's using Drone to do the test.
So it has some checks already built in, and so it's just out of the box. You don't need to worry about that so much.
I don't know, because it depends. It depends on the gatekeeper. Gatekeeper is kind of generic for all CI/CDs. It depends. So I tend to use Circle CI. Because they have a free version for open source. And so if I've got something that I just want a quick language test or whatnot, if the project's not very complicated, like it's a website, for example, and it's got Django in it, I will just use Circle CI. It'll run a simple Django script and bam, it'll tell me really quick. This one is obviously more complicated because it's taking longer. Alternatively, it could be that it's stuck somewhere because it's not failing. It's just taking a long time to run. And that can mean that the actual test is hung somehow. But yeah, basically, the fun part is that you have already filed the pull request. Now, within Hacktoberfest, it would be very easy to just do a pull request, add a period or a space or a line break or whatnot. And yes, that technically counts. But maintainers can actually... Did you hear that? No. Yes?
No.
Okay. There's a notification in my headphones and I was like... Hacktoberfest has a way that you can actually flag a pull request as spam. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to go through and be like, as a maintainer, I salute you and actually do the pull request. Because the PR doesn't count until the maintainer merges it. It's one of the reasons, like, us as maintainers, we are paying attention this month and we are watching for your pull requests because we want to help you get your 4 pulls. But yeah, this one apparently is not gonna cooperate, and it's just gonna keep saying the build is running. Damn it. So one of the things we've done a license. Do you want to put a code of conduct? We actually don't require our code of conducts for our experimental repositories. We do for our maintained repositories. I personally think all repositories should have a COC. So I have absolutely no problems with running through and adding a COC to the same repository. And that way we kind of have Yeah,
let's go through and do it. Sorry, there's a bit of a lag there. Sometimes I don't mean to talk over you sometimes.
It's all good.
Okay.
So you're going to share your screen again.
All right. So let's go back to Helm charts.
Yep.
Actually, we should go back to Helm charts on my...
Actually...
Because we've already forked it.
We've already forked it. But can you demonstrate how to fork a... can you fork the packet host standards, for example, to show how to fork a repository?
Yeah, sure.
It's, by the way, people watching at home, it's just fork in the upper right-hand corner. You click on that, bam. GitHub does the rest.
Oh, I'm the first fork.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's very exciting.
Yeah, it's a little bitty, brand new project. You could be the first star on it. No, that's your personal. So that's how you fork. Super easy. And then this repository, sadly, has all the licenses and files and everything that we need added. It's _code_ of
there we are.
Conduct. So that's good to know.
These badges down here, we talked about them at the very start. So we've got here that we've got a badge that says maintained. These badges are these badges that the maintainers put on them, or are they badges that GitHub gives you? How do those kind of work? And what do we look for in the badges?
So that is its own thing. Badges are kind of new, like within the past. I just started seeing badges in the past couple of years. They're a quick visual kind of summary of a couple of different things. Hey, the Twitter follow is finally coming through. Good job, Twitter. We decided to go with a badge as well as a statement because we wanted to incorporate that quick visual act. If you go, let me see. Yeah, here we go. I'm going to send you this link in StreamYard. If you go to github.com/badges/shields, it gives you a ton of badges and shields, and it's just basically a visual way of looking at a repository and seeing different ways that they are either working or not working in certain ways.
And so this is a cool way to see kind of where repositories are at, how well maintained they are, and it's a good visual to get your snapshot. Cool.
It's definitely not a requirement for every repository, but it is something that's come into style. Yeah, maybe even just over the past year. That said, if you go to glossary.md within Mackenzie standards, it's a file down.
Where's my glossary? Sorry.
Close the button. That's okay.
Right. Yep.
It has the badges, it has definitions, it has the statements. Everything that you need is in this glossary for updating the rest of the repositories. We tried to be pretty clear about what we were expecting when we said we want you to have a support.md, for example. If you click on raw, you can see the source code for those badges. For me, that takes so long to load. I am so jealous of you. But it's my VPN that makes it does not like GitHub user content for some reason. But yeah, you just copy that entire line and that will give you the badge. And you can see that we're using shields.io.
Cool. All right. Sorry for that deviation.
It's important. Ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions ever, ever, ever. So
we need to go back to the Helms inside my one now.
Yeah. And go to your personal Helm.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Mackenzie / Helm charts. Now, before you go any further, scroll down just slightly.
Oh, let me go back.
Yep. Look, you've already got a dot.
There we are. There's my dot for today. As you can see, the street cred is limited for this one.
It's all good. It's all good. So,
okay.
Add file. And then code underscore. Ooh, what's that?
Oh.
Of underscore conduct.
There we are.
And look.
There we go.
Okay. So, code of conduct question. The difference between a contributor covenant and the code of the citizen code of conduct. It kind of does highlights, overviews of the COCs on the upper left-hand corner, just smaller project, all sizes, and then large. And it's really just simplicity. You may notice that I had a conversation because we are working on our COC for our community. As of 2 weeks ago, we were working on a COC for the community specifically. And one of my colleagues was like, hey, why did you write it this way as opposed to use GitHub's contributor covenant? And I answered that these two COCs are awesome if you are contributing code. Mm-hmm. They're perfect for repositories, for specific use cases. The reason why you also have a COC for an entire community is because there are interactions there that are not code-based. You and I have a relationship. We are talking on a stream. This is not code-based. Well, I mean, it is kind of, because like StreamYard is an app and et cetera, et cetera. But you and I are part of a community now of DevRel people, and DevRel people have a community together. And that the contributor covenant would not cover our interactions very well. It's possible. It's just not, it's not its use case. So that said, these are two great code of conducts. Again, if you're not sure which to use, you can look at other repositories within an org. You can also listen to an insider who knows that we happen to use the contributor covenant for our repositories. And by the way, the email address is going to be support@packethost.com.
Okay, so we can change that email address at review and submit.
Exactly.
And then we go down to... oh,
wait, go back. You can actually do it in that screen.
Leave. Okay.
Because you put the email address in that text box
there we
in
are.
the upper right-hand corner. Unless you want to be put in Mackenzie, your own email address, which I don't mind. No judgment.
Well, support at the packet, was it? Packet?
Host. Oh, wait. No, it's support at packet.com. Yeah.
Packet.com. Cool.
Yes. I'm talking about the
Review and
repository team. And that way it's already there. You don't have to go down and add the email.
Cool. And now we don't need to write a description, so we can just add new, and we're going to create a new branch. And we're going to create a pull request.
Confirm merge, because you're the owner.
Okay. And now, if we go back to our Packet Labs here, where we forked it from.
Yep. Oh.
GitHub.
It's not doing
So close.
It's automatic. I know. Hey, but guess what? Share my screen. I mean, not share my screen, but your license has finished through the CI/CD.
Woo.
So, yes, I can merge this pull request and confirm the merge. And then if this was October 1st, you would officially have done your first merge, which is pretty exciting. Now, why?
I'm going to go through... I want to go through all of the GitGuardian's repositories now to make sure that we're up to standard of what I've just learned.
So that's
I'm going to wait for another 4 hours because then it's October.
Right. Exactly. Then it'll be October. Oh my gosh, it's so late where you are. Okay. But yes, we've done it. We now have a license on this beautiful repository. I'm super excited. By the way, the badge would go right here next to the build started within the README. This getting started it's not bad. It could be better, but it's not bad. So we'll count it as the README and the getting started. Yeah, but then it just needs, I want to say, because this is an experimental. What are the experimental tier requirements? Getting started, the README, the license, it has the CI/CD, it needs the owner's file and the DCO, and I can show you how to do that really quick. I think DCO, you actually need to be an owner or a contributor within actually, that's not true. You could do a pull request. Let me try to verbally walk you through that pull request to add the COC. So go ahead and share your screen. We're going to click on pull requests in here. A new pull request. Yep, exactly. You're in the right spot. And then it's not detecting, for some reason it's not detecting your personal changes anymore. Could you click on the, where it says base master and see what options you have? Yeah, it is not, it's just seeing old stuff. And then click on the compare master. Yeah, it should, yeah. Yeah, come on, GitHub.
What did we do? What did we do wrong? Let's check out.
Let's look at your repo. Yeah, your version.
Okay, so we've got our code of content.
Oh, click on pull request. Sorry. On that line that says this branch is for, go back to code. This is where you learn to, and it says this branch is 4 commits ahead, 2 commits behind Packet Labs master pull request. Yes. Can't automatically merge. Oh, I think I know why. Because no, that shouldn't do it. Because we did merge. Wow, I'm dropping words, aren't I? So what I was thinking is, sometimes when you fork while your repository is forked, there are updates made on the main. And then that can then cause conflict. So I was thinking, oh yeah, well, we did do an update on the main, but also that update was coming from the fork. So it should still, they've basically both updated simultaneously. So it shouldn't be conflicting. And we should be able to do a merge or at least a cherry pick. So that's frustrating. It is, yeah. Pull request. Yeah.
Let's do it.
You should be able to, yeah, do it. All right, I'm coming over to resolve conflicts. For me, I don't know about you, but when I first, the very first time I saw conflicts that must be resolved, I was like, how do I fix this? It's not that bad. Click on resolve conflicts. It can be bad, but in this case, it's not bad. So yeah, just scroll down, see where it's yelling at us. It doesn't seem to be yelling at us anywhere specific. I'm also, let me see if I can see the pull request. Okay. You should, yeah, it's being silly. Okay, so let's see if I can I'm going to verbally walk you through it. So when it has, you see how it has a bunch of arrows and then master at the top, and then all the way at the bottom, it has a bunch of arrows and master at the bottom, and it also has those double lines at the bottom. Delete them without deleting the substance. And then all the way to the top, do the same. Bamf. You just mark as resolved. Amazing. Isn't that this is just a glitch that happens every once in a while? Go back to your pull request.
Okay. Do we need to commit the merge?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Oh, I think it's too late. I did it bad.
And let me look on my screen. It's much happier on my screen. Is it much happier on your screen? Yes. See, no conflicts with base branch. And now from experience, we know that drone test is going to take 7 hours.
Give or take 2.
Exactly. But yeah, now we've done 2 polls. I'm actually going to test something, which is that, did you say it's midnight in 3 hours? Probably 2.5 now?
2.5, yeah.
2.5 hours. I'm going to wait until lunch, my time, and then I'm going to approve that merge and see if you get credit.
All right. See if I can get one step closer to my swag.
Exactly. But yeah, that's everything. Do you have any questions, Mackenzie?
No, I think it's super clear of what's a cool, simple way to get started in the open source community. Add some value to some repositories, get some cred, get some swag, and I think it's just what's cool about this is it can get you comfortable making pull requests and merging with everything else, so that at least you're comfortable with that when it's time to commit some code or contribute to it.
Or documentation.
Documentation. That's another great way to or pen testing if you're so inclined.
Love it.
So yeah, but lots of ways to contribute. But this is an awesome starting point. So it's great that we ran through it.
Well, my name is Rain Leander. This is Mackenzie. Oh my gosh, what's your last name?
Jackson.
Mackenzie Jackson. This is Mackenzie Jackson. I am Rain Leander on Twitter and everywhere else except Instagram. And Mackenzie is Advocate Mac.
Yes.
It's MACK.
Yes, correct.
Okay. And I'm with Packets, and Mackenzie is with Git Guardian.
Correct. Nailed it.
Yeah. Thanks so much for coming today, and I hope this helps with Hacktoberfest.
Awesome. Thanks again, Rain. Really appreciate it. Had fun.
Thank you. Likewise. Bye.